Good morning. Happy Sunday. Welcome to your early morning intuitive guidance. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum. Here are some words of wisdom to start your day. And we have another section from Outrageous Openness. I just had this gut feeling that that's what was going to test strong when I was checking my various stacks of card decks. And yep, for sure, none of them tested strong, and I headed for the book. So welcome to whomever has just popped on. Glad you are here. Welcome, welcome. So today's going to be a good day. Good morning, Joe Neal. Glad you are here. Today's going to be a good day because I have 3 awesome things on my agenda today. One is talking to my friend Bobby Silverstone, because we usually connect on Fridays and both of our lives were hoopla on Fridays, so we bumped it to Sunday morning. Second one is my Goal Crushers group. It's 3 young people and me who got together out of one of our Tony Robbins gigs, and we've been at this for over 2 years, meeting once a month online and talking about all kinds of things. We've gotten to know each other very well and supporting each other as we move forward in life. I mean, there are some 30-somethings and a 40-something and me, a mid-60-something. So we have fun together. And then third is I believe it's the 6th Harry Potter this week. I love this time of year because my friend Diane and I do the whole series. They offer the whole series. It's like $6 a ticket or something. And so once a week on a Sunday, we go and sit and disappear into a fantasy world. So looking forward to today. Hope you all have an awesome Sunday as well. And tomorrow, my dad is getting released and my sister has made the decision he's coming home. So yesterday, my brother and I put the bedroom back together and rearranged furniture so there's room for a walker or a wheelchair to fit through, and we'll see how this goes. No idea. So send some prayers our way. We would greatly appreciate that. So today, Tosha, outrageous openness, letting the divine take the lead. And that's kind of where I'm at with all of this. Okay, universe, if this is what's meant to be, so be it. So this particular chapter is called Shopping with God. The quote is from Rob Bresney. Pronoia is the suspicion that the whole world is conspiring to shower you with blessings. Pronoia. I like that. The suspicion that the whole world is conspiring to shower you with blessings. So on that note, let's do our breathing and tapping. Breath in through the nose. Breath out through the mouth. Thank you, dear. I appreciate it. Breath in through the nose. Breath out through the mouth. Pronoia. I choose to be filled with pronoia. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. The world, the universe, everything and everybody is conspiring to bring me good. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. And what that also tells us is oftentimes what we view as not good stuff is exactly the stuff we need. Kind of goes back to our obstacles quote from the other day. Obstacles are challenges that provide me with some learning I really need to move forward. They are vital steps in the process rather than annoyances or barriers. So there's some vital steps in here I need. We'll see what they are. If I come at it from curious, I think that's helpful. Oh, by the way, before I read the Tosha story, I wanted to give you all an update on the commitment I made the other day to drive around and look at churches, see if I can find a property that fits my needs. It felt like a first step to that was surveying all the churches on Google Maps. So I used AI and asked for a list of all of the faith communities in my city. And then I printed that off. It was quite a few pages. And then I just started looking. And I just was listening within, following the guidance, what felt right. And I got about halfway through and got a very clear message: you can stop doing this now. And I believe the gist of it is, it's meant to be in one of the small towns around my city, not in my city, because I've had difficulty with not the city planners themselves, but with higher ups in terms of, is this even possible in this city? Is what I want to create even possible in this city? And I'm leaning toward not. Leaning toward not. So I'm thinking it's going to be one of the smaller communities around the city, perhaps. And in doing so, might open this city's eyes a bit in terms of, oh, that not only worked, it worked well, it greatly increased our tax base, it took care of a whole lot of people, it looks cute as a button, blah, blah, blah. Maybe they need to see it first. So, and I'm kind of feeling like franchise isn't the word. Franchise isn't what I want, but that it's replicable. If I could do this once, when I do this once, it'll give other people, yes, being open to hearing, absolutely. But it was useful to do that first piece for a couple of reasons. One, I figured out how to do it. Two, I was able to survey some of them and realize there were quite a few that didn't fit what I'm looking for, which is fine. And then it opened the door to perhaps it's a different community. And I have one in mind. So I think that might be a new path to follow. And in terms of being open to hearing, this mirrors for me, I'm usually a reader. I love to read books, but for some reason, I think it was at a rummage sale actually, a bazillion years ago, I got the CDs for The Secret. And I loved putting, good morning, Beth, welcome, glad you're here. I loved putting them in the car CD player and listening to Rhonda Byrne herself read The Secret, and just kind of, so over the years I've probably listened to it, way over a dozen times. And there's a part in there in the beginning where she talks about making mistakes and those mistakes leading her to something she needed, and one person leading to the next person that she needed, and really following that wisdom to create this amazing thing. And yes, there were the people after the fact who were like, well, I tried it and it didn't work. Nuance, fine tune, figure it out. Maybe what that was telling you was the answer was no. That wasn't your path. But I'll bet somewhere in there, there were some quiet little yeses. Come this way instead. Open this door instead. Call this person instead. But if you were so hell-bent, good morning, Nancy, glad you're here, on a particular path, and again, like we were talking about earlier in the week with a different chapter in Tosha Silver, if you are forcing something into being, it oftentimes leads to not happy results. We're meant to be in the flow of creating what is going to be. We are the co-creators, not the forcers. All right? So, and we can see what happens when people try to force things. Doesn't go well. Doesn't go well. So here's the chapter, Shopping with God. All that to say, here's the chapter, Shopping with God. So again, I want to read that quote by Rob Bresney. Pronoia is the suspicion that the whole world is conspiring to shower you with blessings. I love that. So here's Tosha. Here's another experiment. Move through a given day, seeing the world as a living, pulsing, loving force, capital F, longing to assist you. Feel that you and this energy are one. A good prayer can be, Today the divine will show me the way. Ooh, I love that. Could one of you put that in the feed? Today the divine will show me the way. I'm open to all messages, signs, and omens. I'll move as if there's a force of love waiting to aid me in every area of my life, big or small. Isn't that beautiful? Doesn't that make you feel more solid, more grounded, more guided? She says, I often feel I get divine help with trivialities, so I have faith when the big ticket issues come too. So little happenings. And one of the things I think with those little happenings is sometimes we blow them off. Because it is a little happening, we don't see it for what it is, a harbinger of the bigger happenings that are available to us. So here's one of her little happenings. Once I had only a few hours to find a dress for my cousin's wedding, and I had just come back from traveling, so I was on a tight budget. Immediately I invoked divine order, affirming that the perfect dress was already picked, and I would be guided to it easily and effortlessly. Then I watched my body's impulses. Soon I felt unexpectedly but intensely drawn to that clothing emporium straight from the 7th rung of shopping hell, Ross Dress for Less. Actually, if you really want to master shopping with God, just go there. Once you've trounced Ross, you're ready for anything. When I walked in, the checkout line snaked to the back of the store and on forever. Discarded clothes covered the floor like the scene of a shipwreck. Babies were bawling, someone screamed at the cashier for a refund, Celine Dion promised loudly over the speakers that a new day was coming. I persevered, clinging to divine order like a life raft. 10 minutes later, I spied a wadded-up, abandoned dress on a counter. Sleeveless, raw purple silk, short, a little sexy, my exact size. A Donna Karan marked down in true Ross fashion from $175 to $19.99. Sold! As I walked to the never-ending line, 3 more registers suddenly opened. While I waited, a redhead behind me with a sweet smile said, "Wow, totally hot dress. Want these? They're the exact color," and shoved a pair of dangly earrings in my hand. In and out in 20 minutes. Moving through the world, open to constant help, gets easier and easier with practice. Divine order like a life raft. Yep, absolutely. So hear that sentence again. Moving through the world, open to constant help, gets easier and easier with practice. So that's what I'm going to do in terms of Dad coming home. Okay, universe, show me how this is going to work. Show me how this is going to work. Yes, some days it's much more subtle, some more dramatic, but why not try? You could practice this for a full 21 days to let your brain waves reset into the new pattern of thinking. And anyway, if you're not happy with the results, you can always have your cold dog-eat-dog lonely galaxy back, no questions asked. Full refund. People often act as if there's no divine assistance. Why not pretend that there is? Blink, blink, blink. So, how about we do that? How about we do 21 days of pretending that there's divine help right around the corner, and all we have to do is ask and open ourselves, really, truly open ourselves to receiving. Not this, well, I'll see it when I believe it thing, but I'll believe it, and then I'll see it. And I'll feel it, and I'll hear it, and all the things. Why not? Who's in? Who wants to do 21 days? I think this will be awesome. So, 21 days of acting as if the universe is constantly wanting to help us, and that we are open to receiving that help in divine right timing and divine right order, and that our ideal solutions to whatever have already been chosen for us. Good morning, Abigail. Glad you are here. Welcome. So I would love for you to put in the feed. Yeah, there's one. Awesome. I got a running buddy. Woohoo! you. Thank you, Joe Neal. Who else would like to play with us? Who wants to come and play in the sandbox of divine right timing and divine right order? Let's have some fun with this. Let's have some fun with this. So I'd love to have you either private message me or send it to, put it in the feed. I'd love to have you put it in the feed because that will let you know that others know, and that will let others know that you've decided. So we are doing 21 days, and I will write it in my planner, of approaching life as the universe will provide. Help is right around the corner. All we need to do is ask. Everything is coming to us in divine right timing and divine right order. This or something better, whatever idea we have in our head, we could even talk to God about that. Okay, so I propose this as a potential solution. And the universe says, how about this instead? And it's much better. And it's much better. So let's play 21 days. I'm waiting to see who else is going to join Joe Neal and me in this fun adventure. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are. Bye-bye.